Okay, so on note 7.3, there is another way of writing your solution. Instead of an and and or statement, you can actually use interval notation, which we talked about on domain and range. So when we went over number 1 and we found this and statement as our answer, you could also write it as smallest number is -2, and then largest number goes all the way to 3. And it does not include, because it doesn't have an equal to, it does not include -2, so you would put a parenthesis, and then you would put a parenthesis around 3 because it doesn't include that as well. So that's another way of writing -2 is less than, x is less than 3. So looking at example 2, notice here we're at -2, and the shaded part is going to the left, which means your smallest would be -infinity to -2. Not including. And then instead of or on an interval, they put a union, which is just like a U, and then which means or. And then if you look here, we're at 3 and we're going to positive infinity. So you would start with 3 and go to infinity. So those are the same exact solutions there. I don't care how you write it, whether it be your inequality, your and or statement, or the interval notation. Okay, so let's look at the back. If you look here, it's all together. It was an and, so it will be all 1. It starts with -3. It goes all the way to 0.5 or a half. And then this one actually was equal to, so instead of parentheses, you need to put brackets around both of those numbers because it does include both of them there. Okay, so if you look at 4, you have an and statement again, so all together. So it starts with 0.81, it goes to 1.82. Notice it does include it because it says equal to, so you'll put brackets when it includes the numbers, parentheses when it does not. And then the last one for interval, this one was all real numbers. So remember we talked about that on the domain of a parabola. That's -infinity. It goes all the way to positive infinity, and we use parentheses around our infinity signs. So that's just another way of writing your solutions on these. You can either use your and or statement, or you can use the interval that we've been talking about. So your choice.